One of the possibly tedious aspects of populating a task database for a new project you're embarking on is just simply filling it with tasks that you either know for sure you'll need to complete, or even just coming up with tentative to-dos that you may not be aware of that are required to make it a successful project. So it's helpful if you happen to be on a random web page during an afternoon of browsing and you might come across steps that just kind of light up for you as useful. You might end up on a page like this, which looks like helpful tips, and be tempted to use this extension to copy this as a block of information to one of your pages. But then you might realize this would be better to save as a set of individual tasks for your task database, which you already set over here in the config tab as the default recipient on the home page. When you finally get around to Notion later, after you finish with all your web browsing and maybe YouTubing as well, you can do some further processing. This particular table that you just saw me send tasks to through this extension has a property called task type, which serves as kind of a category, and you'll see the categories that are set in the dialog box. These are pulled from these in your database using the Notion API. What could even be more useful is a feature that Notion gives you called automation. For this database, I have an automation set up, or really a group of automations. So when a new page is sent to it through whatever means, but in this case through the API, since we're talking about this extension, the automation knows there's a new page that just came in and will execute the rule that is set up and immediately set the person column to the appropriate user, which could be, employee, freelancer, etc., that is responsible for that type of work or task. But, this whole thing with automation, it's just an extra idea I'm tossing at you in case that occurs as something useful to you, because in addition, you need to have at least a Notion Plus account to be able to do that.